Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the September monthly Construction and Traffic Impacts webinar. We're so glad you could join us today. I'm Wendy Thompson from the Streetcar team, and my main role is to keep you informed about the project, especially any changes that might affect your daily commute or neighborhood. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me with any questions or concerns you might have. We know that construction can disrupt your routine, and our goal is to proactively provide clear and timely information. We're here to walk you through the latest developments and encourage you to ask any questions at any point using the Q&A feature. First, I'd like to introduce the team who will be sharing updates on construction and what to expect in the coming months. We have Eric Miller, Omaha Streetcar Operations Manager, Megan Walter, MUD Customer Engagement Manager, Mike True, Omaha Public Works Department and the Streetcar Project Manager, Steve Rue, Omaha Public Works Department and Capital Construction Streets Maintenance Engineer, and Steve Jensen, Deputy Chief of Staff for Economic Development in the Mayor's Office and Omaha Streetcar Authority Board member, is here to help answer questions today. Now I'd like to turn it over to Eric Miller.
All right, thank you, Wendy. So today I'm live in Kansas City for a conference, so reporting from the Streetcar mainline here. So today with me on the call, we have Megan Walter with the MUD Customer Engagement Manager, and we'll have Mike True, Public Works Engineer and Construction Project Manager, and also Steve Rue, who is our City of Omaha Public Works Engineer. And so the agenda today, we're going to cover work zone safety reminders, going to go through the project schedule and timeline, overview on that, go through the MUD gas relocation work, talk about the vehicle maintenance facility progress, which is going up really close to the luminarium there, and cover work on utilities west of Turner Boulevard. Then go through what the progress is on the Harney and Farnham bridges over I-480, and then the work on the utilities east of I-480, which has been starting up in various places. We'll go through Turner Boulevard utilities, so a separate project from the rest. And then we're also going to talk about what we're doing to support businesses, go through our construction communications, other ways to stay in touch with us. And then we'll have time for some Q&A. And just a note, please add your questions in the Q&A chat and we'll answer them later. Just some reminders about work zone safety. Remember to stay alert, avoid distractions, make sure you're aware of others that may be lost, follow the detours. There's wayfinding signage out there and watch for anything that may have blown or over or gotten run over since the last time you were through there. And also a reminder to stay out of work zones. If it looks like they're not supposed to be there, you're probably not. And please plan ahead and be patient. Try to use the map app in advance if possible to help plan your route. So as far as the Streetcar construction schedule, we're getting to the end of utility work on the west end, getting into utilities on the east end. Harney Street Bridge over I-480 should be done by the end of the year, and we'll start on Farnham Street Bridge after that. Now, and I think most exciting coming up is the mainline track construction that we're planning to start early next year. So now I will turn it over to Megan to discuss the MUD work.
Good afternoon, everyone. So our first slide is our phase 6 in the old market. Gas main installation work continues on 16th. We anticipate this to be completed in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Then all available street repairs will be turned over to the city. Gas is available on the new main to 15th Street, so individual gas services can be reconnected to the new main. The service reconnection work may include additional excavations along the route. MUD continues to work with customers to relocate gas meters to the exterior of buildings for safety reasons. This phase's anticipated completion for main installation remains around mid-September. So gas service work could continue for a while as we work with our customers. After all services are reconnected to the new main, the crew will come back to cut off the old main, which may include new excavations. As shown on the slide, new excavations will be dug east of 11th in Harney and Farnham to cut off the old main and on an old service. Each excavation's work should take a couple of days to complete. Then we'll turn the street repair over to the city. Our second slide is phase 5, Farnham Street. The crew at 16th and Harney will move to Farnham at 24th Street within the next month and continue working in phase 5 until completed. Traffic control measures will be put in place for this future work. Our third slide is phase 7 on Harney Street. So gas main installation work continues near the west end of this phase and will continue east to 24th Street. All individual gas services from 19th to 28th Street will be reconnected to the new main. For safety reasons, again, we will move all inside gas meters to the exterior of buildings. And then finally, our last slide is kind of a look at all of the phases. So phase 6 gas main installation is anticipated to be completed mid-September. However, gas service work will continue. In phases 5 and 7, MUD work will continue in selected areas, primarily in intersections, to stay ahead of the city's future planned utility work. As shown on this slide, areas shaded in gray represent work completed, while red areas indicate active work zones. For safe and phase 8 is going to be scheduled at a later date. For safety reasons, pedestrians should use caution where holes have been dug, and vehicles should slow down in construction areas. Thank you.
Thanks,
So
Megan.
vehicle
Now,
maintenance facility is
sure.
rolling along fine. We're done with all of our deep foundations. There's 2 photos on the screen right now. Those are some cylindrical piles that have been filled, and you can see them setting up for their first large mat slab pour that's going on. You can also see in the photo on your right part of the interstate, and behind you, roughly a little bit back and to the right, would be the luminarium. Vehicle maintenance facility is continuing along and should be ready to receive cars when they start showing up in 2027. I believe we also have a question related to the vehicle maintenance facility, Wendy?
Yes, the location of it.
Okay. Yeah, so this is down in and along Riverfront Drive. It's been moved and is now just east of it, and it's kind of catty corner to the luminarium as you're looking out from the parking lot. Out and a little bit to the south is where the vehicle maintenance facility will be sitting. There you go.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. So moving on to the West Utilities packages. So I'll cover this, the bridge, the East Utilities package, kind of all the projects that are active at the moment. So West Utilities package, again, we started way back in January down at Turner. We're moving west down Farnham. So there's been pretty regular restrictions. So we're just kind of seeing a continuation of the same work, similar types of work that we've seen throughout, right? So westbound traffic only on Farnham from 34th through 38th Ave right now. Be aware for traffic restrictions, be aware for lane closer changes. There's no parking through here, so we want to utilize. There's the parking garage between 37th and 38th. There's the new parking lot at 40th and Harney that has the on-street rate, or if you're at the east end of this area, you can utilize that parking garage. There's the 2 parking garages kind of off 33rd and Farnham there. You can utilize both of those. Work that we're doing through here, we're continuing to do sanitary and water main work. Very similar to all the work that's occurred on this project so far. We are looking to wrap up phase 2 here in the next week or so and really start making that. You can kind of see we're already extending west, making that push into that last final phase 3. And this project's looking to wrap up at the end of the year here. The bridge package right now is going great. So we're working on finishing up the Harney Street Bridge. This bridge is scheduled to be finished by the end of the year. That we are definitely on schedule for that right now. It's going great. So if you drive by, I say this every month, I think, but it looks more like a bridge. At this point, it's been paved. We got the deck. We're starting to put the appurtenances on. So you're going to start seeing in the next couple of weeks, like the barrier rails, the fencing, foundation poles for the street lights. Those things are all coming. Other work that is occurring over here. So we were able to get the duct banks underneath the bridge that take OPPD and telecommunications from one side of the interstate to the other. Those are complete. So you're going to start seeing there'll be a lot of wire pulling going out there with OPPD and Lumen specifically, pulling their cables across the bridge there. And then we have finished the work on 28th Street, 28th and Harney. So we can resume getting on the interstate there. I'm sorry, that's at 29th and Harney. We have completed that. So you can get on the interstate there. Coming off the interstate at Harney, not quite done with that yet. So we're doing that joint sanitary sewer water main work right there at 28th and Harney. So we're anticipating that to be finished up and opening that intersection sometime early to mid-October. But this project's going great. If you drive by, you can see it's getting near completion. And then the east package. So this is kind of our newest utilities package that we started. This is also the largest package that we're going to do through this course of like these series of utility packages here. So they started on 10th and Capitol. So if you've been in that area at all, you've seen the Capitol was mostly shut down. We were very critically able to get one northbound lane of traffic open. So if you attended the Lincoln Park concert last week, we were able to get all those semis in there for everything they saw there. So that was great. But we were able to get that done. Dodge or Capitol right now, we're looking at wrapping that up in the next week and a half. And then they're going to move up to 10th and Dodge. So there'll be additional closures there as they continue this same water main and sewer work as they progress towards Dodge. So that's one crew that's working this project. We have another crew starting at 10th and Farnham. That's going to be their next heading that they're going to start for this project. That starts next week. We should start seeing some lane closures. The following week after that, I believe the whole intersection will go into a full closure. And I think we show that on a later slide here. And so from there, you're going to kind of see the first crew make their way around this loop and finish this like rectangular dash line that we have. They'll kind of go around and do that work there. This other crew on 10th and Farnham, they're going to start there and start working their way west. And eventually, as this project goes on, you're just going to see work start here at the east end, work its way out west, very similarly to what we did on the West Utilities package. Other work that's occurring in this same area right now, you can see we have some electrical work happening out closer to like 18th, 20th, 24th, 19th of Farnham and Harney. So that's work that we need to get done ahead of the utilities package as it moves west. So this is going to be a really busy corridor for the next year and a half or so as we try to really get a lot of work done through here ahead of that mainline track as that starts to move in 2026. So a lot of work to do through here. I think we have some diagrams just kind of showing anticipated closures and anticipated detours around. So this has been a very tricky area, especially if you're trying to get back into that loop that kind of goes towards the Luminarium. We've had some issues trying to maybe get to like north on 10th, things like that. So you can see here we have the full closures that I mentioned posted. These would be our suggested detours to get around. So utilizing 8th Street, working your way up to Capitol, depending on where you're trying to get. So just use your best, use these detours, and then use your best driving skills as you're going through. If you are driving down a street and there are maybe 4 or 5 or 6 signs that say that the road is closed ahead, it is likely closed ahead. So we need to utilize other detours, follow detour signs, do those things that we do. So, and I'm going to let Mike talk about this one as we are not quite to construction yet.
Thank you, Steve. This is the Turner Boulevard package. Don't know why sorry about that. The video went bad there. Turner Boulevard, particularly from Farnham Street down to Harney. There's several deep sewers in this area, along with a 48-inch water main transmission line that we're going to start this later on this year, and it's supposed to be wrapped up by Q3 of next year. The intersection of Farnham and Turner, January 1 to April 15th, will be shut down, and that way there's a really big sewer manhole there that needs to be reconstructed, and we'll also be utilizing that time to go through and get the 48-inch line through there. We have received the bids on this. The apparent low bidder was Hawkins, and we hope to wrap up any and all the contracting stuff here shortly and get them rolling.
Hey, thanks, Mike. So now we're going to talk about business support and what are we doing to help. So we're trying to assist people to still find the way to the usual places that they go to in the corridor. And so as far as overall communications, definitely go to the OSA website at omahastreetcar.org. And we also have weekly construction update email newsletters that you can sign up for. But on the website, you can find maps for detours, just like the ones that we're showing on the screen. Also want to highlight our YouTube channel, Omaha Streetcar Authority YouTube channel, where you can watch these videos. And so, yeah, watch these monthly construction update webinars. As far as traffic accessibility and construction zones, we're still trying to maintain the following at all times: one-way westbound traffic to Farnham, sidewalk access to businesses, and also delivery access and coordination. We also have outside of construction zones, we're maintaining two-way traffic at all times and additional parking, just like normal. Also for parking, I want to highlight trying the Park Omaha app. This is a good way that you can see what other parking options there are, so you can still get to these businesses. We also have signage up to promote businesses, either out on the sidewalk or on their storefronts, to let people know that these businesses are still very much in operation. Okay, and with that, I'll turn it back over to Wendy to cover what is happening with communications.
Thank you, Eric. For those of you who are new to our webinar series, we host these on the first Wednesday of every month at noon. We know how tricky schedules can be, so if you can't join us live, don't worry. We record each session and post it on our website for you to watch whenever it's convenient. Just remember that you'll need to register for each session to get the new monthly link. If you've registered for a previous webinar, we'll send you an email reminder before the next one so you don't miss out on signing up. We highly encourage you to register even if you can't attend live. Feel free to submit any construction and traffic questions beforehand. That way we can address them during the webinar and ensure you get the information you need when you watch the recording later on the website or the Streetcar's YouTube channel. Looking ahead to next month, we'll detail all the planned work, schedules, and how it will impact the project as construction moves forward. We will also begin to discuss the upcoming mainline track construction that is scheduled to begin in January. We understand construction can be disruptive, and we're committed to minimizing impacts and keeping you informed. To do this, we've developed a few key resources. First, a weekly email update for you to get summaries of work, project progress, and milestones directly in your inbox. You can sign up on our website. Second, an interactive GIS map was developed to allow you to zoom in on your area to see specific project impacts. It's frequently updated with the latest, most accurate information. We encourage you to share these valuable resources with your neighbors, colleagues, and anyone interested in the project's progress. Our team is here to ensure everyone has the information they need to understand and navigate these changes. Please leverage our resources, reach out with your questions, and stay connected as the project moves forward. Finally, if you have immediate concerns or would like more information from the project team, please contact me by phone or email. Now let's begin the Q&A session with questions that have been sent in. So I think our first question is for Steve Rue, and that was, how long will the construction in the intersection of 38th Avenue and Farnham last?
Yeah, so we're still working through the timeline on that. I mean, really at this point, there will be some level of construction through phase 3, but we will move through it in phases similar to other things. So I know that one of the specific concerns, I wonder if it was related to this question, there was an instance where our project closed Farnham and there was a separate project that needed some access off of 38 there. That has been poured back. There's another part of that project that needs to go on farther up 38th. We're working through facilitating how that's going to work to make sure traffic stays open. But as far as 38th and Farnham being able to go westbound, we're going to continue. That'll be continuously open throughout the project, and you'll kind of see us slide through like we've done with everything else. So there'll be some level of barricades for the next month or so as we move west. And then following behind that, you're going to have CIPP lining and some other things. So hard. I don't want to give an exact date because I'm afraid it would not be accurate, but there will be some level of construction at 38th Street there for most of the rest of the project.
Thank you. So Steve, this next one was for you as well. Are the tracks to be situated in a way as to provide timely and dependable snow and ice removal during inclement weather?
Yeah, so we obviously, we're aware of our climate, and We were working on what snow removal is going to look like, how we're going to maintain this and keep it operational during winter before when it was in design. So that's been part of that. As we've progressed with the project, things that we've looked to do, we have reached out to other cold weather climates that have streetcars. So Milwaukee, for example, Kansas City has one, and we're kind of working through what their best practices are, what they've seen work. So we have a plan. We have a plan that we think is a good plan and is going to work to keep it open. But we do want to see what other local communities, we still have really like 2 years before we need to keep this like operational on a regular basis, maybe longer than that. So we have some time to kind of work through exactly what that's going to look like. We have a plan now. We're going to have a couple winters where there's tracks in the ground before it's operational, where we're going to get kind of take some dry runs at it, honestly, and see how we can facilitate keeping the streetcar operational, what kind of changes we need to make. As we all know in Omaha, we get very different weather patterns. So, as mentioned, we get ice storms, we get snow, we get blizzards. Even that snow, the rate of snowfall will change how we approach clearing off those tracks. So we're going to get some chances to work through all that. We have a plan in place. When we get closer to the streetcar being open, that will officially be adopted into our snow plan, which is available on our website. So you can go look at that. And so we're going to just kind of work through it. And I'm extremely confident, especially when we see the number of other cities that have colder climates than us, that it'll absolutely be operational. We'll be able to communicate under what situations maybe we'd have to close it. But the intent obviously is to keep it operational and be working into our regular street maintenance plan.
If Eric wants to go off unmute, I think he's got the streetcar right behind him. He was trying to show us.
Yeah, he's trying to keep it in view. Not sure you can see or not, but yeah. So this is the location right now where the streetcars go out of service, and then they continue south on the extension where they're doing testing. So basically, running a simulated schedule right now until this part opens on October 24th. So really exciting.
Cool.
There
Cool.
it goes.
All right, our next question was for Mike. Will the rails be continuously welded, or will there be seams that may cause maintenance problems? I'm sorry, I cannot read.
That's okay. So short answer is yes, they'll be welded. The continuity of the weld, so anytime you introduce a joint, that's always a potential maintenance failure point. They're going to be infield welded as much as possible into longer sticks, and then at longer intervals using a less precise thermite weld. They'll be noted, those locations, they'll be observed, and they'll be maintained. It's a process that's used all around the country, the butt welding, and it tends to hold up pretty well. We'll see how it goes here for our own service life, but yes, the rail will be everything will be welded together.
Okay, thank you. On our last question, unless any more come in, will 8th and Douglas intersection be reopened in time for September detours along that route? Steve, do you want to cover that one?
Yeah, so we've been coordinating with the work that's going there as far as what closures and status they need with what closures and status we need. So we're working through that right now. I saw that message come in, and I asked our inspector out there what he thinks our current status for the Douglas closure is. I haven't got an answer yet, but I know we've been working very, very closely with that operation that's there, and we're obviously not trying to lock everybody out downtown. So we will coordinate traffic based on where that project stands, what our project needs are, and we'll facilitate that so the detours are open.
Thank you. And thanks to everyone for all of the great questions. For questions we weren't able to address on this call, I will contact you at the registration email address you provided when you signed up. So that wraps up our session for today. Thank you all for joining us. Your engagement and understanding are vital as we continue to build this transformative project for Omaha. We're excited about the progress we're making and the positive impact the Omaha Streetcar will have on our community for generations to come. We look forward to seeing you at next month's webinar, although it looks like another question came in. When we talk about mainline construction, what does that mean exactly?
Mainline construction would be referencing the actual track guideway. So actually demoing down and creating a specific section to support the tracks. It'll still look like concrete from the top with two long sticks of metal, the tracks themselves in it, but it also would include the power systems to it, the overhead contact system, the substations that are part of that. It'd also include the station stops themselves, the platforms.
Thank you. And that
What-
will all begin in January.
January 5th is when they plan on doing. You won't actually see necessarily track getting laid then. There's actually a whole process, and I believe at the November webinar, we were talking about sharing a little bit more detail on that. But yes, that's when the first heading is slated to go.
Steve, did you have something to add to that?
No, the 8th and Douglas intersection looks like right now is scheduled to be open September 12th based on the work that they're doing there. So, and our closure there would be September 15th. So we should be fine. We'll see how that work progresses.
Thank you all. And we appreciate everyone for coming today. Have a great day, everyone.